Hi, this is Julia Resthorn. Welcome to the second episode in my series on interpreting the messages on a card a day. Today's card is this one. The message on the back is here. So like last time, we will look at this printed portion first. Originally, when I saw that, I thought it was just a standard message was the same on all of the cards, but if we look at the first one from last series, the last episode, you'll see it's different. So this one translated to something like cheer up, minnows. So this is going to be different. So let's look at it first. And the first word, again, my pronunciation I'm sure is off, but part of my point in making these videos is to force myself to speak and then hear myself back when I listen to it later and make improvements. And again, maybe get suggestions from people too. So here we go. 행동, jirang. Okay, first word, when looking up translations for that, I found action, and the second word I found order. And so action, order. That made me think in English what we would call a call to action, which is a type of English paper or article that you can write to try to get somebody to do something, encourage someone to do something, and that sounds like that kind of fit. Action order, call to order sounds kind of demanding, so I don't know, maybe a softer way of saying that would be a suggestion for something to do. Okay, so maybe those are all possible ways of interpreting that. And so let's see if this message here fits with that type of topic heading, which I think that's what these are, is topic headings or topics of the messages, the different types of messages that are on these cards. So I've kind of got that hypothesis going, and as we go through, we'll see if that holds or not with just two cards, one of each different type of topic. It's hard to say. So move this over here. My first letter up, I interpret that as the hiet. Okay, and handwriting, lots of people make those different ways. I have been, as I said last time, watching handwriting videos. Of course, if I were trying to mimic the print, it would be like this or like this. Okay, this is one of the handwriting styles I've learned, and this looks a lot like that. Okay, and then the A sound. And we've got, and I put a bit more tail on that than maybe I should, I don't know. Then we have a neon, and that bothered me for a long time because I wasn't sure what this was, but I think it's a neon that is connected to the vowel under the next syllable. Okay, and when I first looked at this, I said that it looked to me like a deal. Okay, but if I compare that to last card that we did, here's the deal here, and here, and here, and this is similar but not quite. Okay, so could be wrong, but I'm gonna call it a ticket instead of a deal. Okay, because I think what we've got is we've got a mark and a curve of the letter there. Okay, so like this, and then the vowel under that is the here our felt tip pen or gel pen or whatever is used is kind of blurred together to where when I looked at it, it looked like a Roman numeral 5 to me, but then there's only one letter that could look like that. Okay, which is, this is like our Roman numeral 2, but if you put those together, kind of make it fast and drag them together, that would possibly make that little kind of almost V shape I see there. And then underneath that, we've got a vowel, and it looks like it's connected here to make it the O sound, and then a neon. Okay, so that would make the word handapon. Handapon, which would, I mean, hand phone, right? Hand phone makes perfectly good sense of cell phones you carry in your hand. And so that's what that would be, is cell phone. So move to the next word. And this, is, I think, is the same letter that gave me a lot of problems last time. And I figured it out, I think. Okay, so pulling this back over, we had this one here that I had trouble with. And then I decided that it was probably this smaller, and therefore it blurred. Okay, and this looks like that could be the same little kind of boat with a line through it. So I'm going to go with that. And the way I learned for handwriting on that one, just the first video I watched on it, gave like a couple of options, and this one for me seemed the easiest way to make this letter. So that's what I adopted. Okay, and also as I'm trying to learn handwriting, I have to go with something that looks kind of similar to the print to me, because I can't go too drastic or I won't recognize what I've written myself, and that won't help me. As I progress in my learning, my handwriting will probably change. It did in English. You know, my handwriting has evolved over time, and definitely from the time I was in second grade and first learned cursive to what my handwriting is now. It's quite different, because you know, you just progress and you find shortcuts and you find things that are more comfortable for you to make those letters a certain way. And of course, if you try to read somebody else's handwriting, then it's difficult because they found a different way of making it comfortable for them. So handwriting is very personal, and it also I think one of my biggest problems I'm having here in trying to read these is not so much necessarily reading the handwriting. It's my vocabulary is limited because I'm still a beginner. And so in English, you know, you've seen those experiments where they print a message, a whole maybe paragraph even, and it's got every third letter missing or half the vowels are missing or something, and you can read it no problem because you know the language and you can guess what word is supposed to be there and fill in the missing letters. And when we're reading somebody else's handwriting and we run across a symbol that doesn't look like the way we make it, we do that. Our brain just fills in because we know kind of what that word probably should be, and we can look at that and go, oh yeah, that's a such and such, okay, and move on. When you're looking at the language that you're not familiar with, then everything's difficult because I don't immediately go, oh, well, that's probably such and such because this has got to be that word, because I don't know what word it is. I'm trying to figure out what word it is. So, okay, moving on. This one, yeah, I think it's this. Okay, I think we've got the little line mark and a dash up here. So this is going to be a hit. And the A vowel again. And what I think this is, I think I mentioned that last time. I'm not sure if that was, yeah, that was in the last card. Yeah, here we have, this was a vowel that drug into the vowel below it. Okay, or the consonant, I'm sorry, below it. The was below it. And that's, according to some of the videos I've watched, very common in handwriting to pull that in like that. Okay, so that's what I think has happened here, is that the ng is attached to the A vowel sound. Okay. So I'm going to separate it so that I can read it, because I'm needing closer to print type letters still. And then we have gi on the end of that. Okay, so that would be pihangi, which would be airplane. This one, I don't know. This looks like it should be a ticket again to me, with an O. But then I decided this was a ticket. Okay, so this is something different. And again, my vocabulary is limited, so I could be making some errors here, but I'm looking at this, and I typed in for translation, I looked up things like, I looked up do, and did make that a deal, dodra, okay, and tried to see what that would be, and I don't think I got anything back. Of course, translators are not 100%, so that, you know, could be a word, but it wasn't coming back as a word, or at least not anything that made sense, okay, in this context. And so, because, like I said, I would assign this as a ticket, then I don't think that's a ticket, so what could it be? And somewhere on a video, just one place, when they were talking about making the memes, they made a meme that looked a little bit unclosed like this. Okay, so a lot of like cursive meme is going to be, I'm just going to go ahead and make it because that's what I'm going to call it here for this, and maybe if I'm wrong I can get corrected. Okay, this is one way to do meme, and there's some other ways, and I don't know whose video it was, but there was something that they didn't close it. They kind of came right back up the line and drug it off. Okay, so I mean, that's not how it looked exactly, but somewhat closer to this. Okay, and so this one is one. This is where my question is really strong on this one. Okay, I'm not sure I'm interpreting this correctly, but I'm going to call it this moda, because it does make sense in the context when we get done. Next thing here was this right here. Just I'm looking at that going, I have no clue what that could possibly be, because this does not look like any letter I have learned so far. So I thought, well, this is an ing, but sorry. I don't know what that could possibly be. But I moved on and I looked at this and recognized this as bun. And then I'm like, oh, bun. Minute, a time marker word. So this has got to be a number telling us how many minutes, and then obviously it's 30. So that became crystal clear once I looked at what came behind it. And see, again, that's what I'm saying, is that you're looking at filling in what you recognize to help you with what you don't recognize. Okay, so there's that. That's the end of the phrase or sentence at this point. And so what we're looking at is, in English, handphone, airplane mode, 30 minutes. And so to put that into something that we might say in English would be to maybe put your cell phone in an airplane mode for 30 minutes. And as a call to action or a suggestion, that makes sense, fits in. So this would be a recommendation to put our cell phones on airplane mode, quiet, for 30 minutes. And that would be a nice thing to do, to give yourself some time to yourself and not have people messaging you constantly or having to answer or feel like you have to answer somebody. I know I enjoy getting away from my cell phone quite a bit, so when I can. So that's the translation that I think is a at least adequate one for this. Again, I'm interested in comments or suggestions at the bottom on how this could be interpreted differently, whether I did actually read that particular letter correctly or not. And I will look forward to talking to you on the next video. Annyeong!